Romeria is out in theaters, new Spanish drama from writer-director Carla Simon, partly based on her own life experiences, stars Lucia Garcia, for whom this is a very impressive screen debut. The story takes place in 2004 and follows an 18-year-old girl named Marina who travels from Barcelona to the Spanish Atlantic coast in search of information about her biological parents, who both died when she was a small child. She tracks down her father's family, and between conversations with them and also reading through her mother's journal, she pieces together the story of the relationship in the late 1980s. So I thought this was a really interesting, fascinating even film. It starts off really slow and uneventful, like a slice of life administrative investigation, where Marina spends quite a lot of time just hanging out with people and only occasionally getting a small tidbit of information about the parents. And for a while, I was wondering where it would go, if anywhere, if it would maybe just be this kind of self-indulgent record of Carla Simon's own past. But then the film does get somewhere eventually, and it's a remarkably unique place. Because, first of all, it initially leads you to believe that this relationship was some romantic love lost, tragically smothered by the people around it, with unfair treatment of both Marina and her mom at the hands of the dad's family. And then slowly, very slowly, it turns out that, okay, maybe they were assholes, but the parents were also no saints, and their lives were much less romantic than you'd think. It all comes to a head in this dreamy, surrealist flashback sequence in the last third of the film, which transports us back into the past, with Lucia Garcia now playing a second role, that of Marina's mother. And suddenly, the same excerpts from the journal, read again, now take on a different, more tragic and terrifying at the same time meaning, as the film delves into the 1980s drug culture and sexual freedom and the AIDS crisis. And I love the climax and conclusion that the film reaches, which is essentially that, even if your parents or predecessors or people close to you are not ideal and they did contribute significantly to fucking up their own lives, it's okay to accept that. You shouldn't sweep it under the rug, pretend it didn't exist, hide it away. Marina remains faithful to the truth and faces it head on and displays that courage to the rest of the family by refusing to accept the half-truths and straight lies in the service of good opinion. It is, I think, a message and a climax done in a way unlike any other. I struggle to remember a film that would touch on the same themes in the same way, and I think it quite moved me as a result. I would also like to say that Lucia Garcia does a terrific job of, especially considering it's her debut, and the fact that she plays two different roles, and she makes them different enough through sometimes very small things. Her demeanor, the way she carries herself, the level to which she is okay with her nakedness and sexuality is vastly different between the two characters. I love the details of how, Marina's mother is this run around naked hippie, and Marina carefully holds down her skirt when a sea breeze blows into it. I really like this film. It's maybe. I don't think it's subtle exactly. I think it spells out its message fairly straightforward at the end, but it does definitely ask the viewer of some patience before it does so, before it gets to where it's going. But when it does, it's a beautiful, interesting, unique picture.